Hello everybody, my name is Orpheus of the Telos, and today I will be reviewing Persona 3.
Dream was done, ticking clock. I walk away from a southwest room. Windless night, moonlight melts. My ghost ray shadow to the book from room. Make free dance, a freeing sword reminds me that I still live. I will. I was wild with the coffee. I share me to get fire. I'll be bringing you around till I see the sunlight again. I left my place and ran to the sunlight.
Persona 3 was released in 2006 for the PS2, and half a year later, Persona 3 FES was released. It was a director's cut version of the game. It added many needed improvements and a new epilogue called The Answer. The Answer was made to answer many of the questions that were left by the ending of the game. 3 years later, in 2009, Persona 3 Portable was released for the PSP, and it made some more improvements along with the addition of a female protagonist. For this review, I played the PSP version. Persona 3 takes place in a world where the day consists of 25 hours instead of 24. This extra hour is called the Dark Hour. Most people don't know of it since they're inside their coffins, but those who aren't are in danger, as during the Dark Hour, monsters called Shadows appear and attack anyone who is awake. Our story starts with our protagonist, who you name yourself, moving in Tatsumi Port Island, a fictional artificial island city built by the Kirijo Foundation. Due to an accident earlier that day, the protagonist's train ran late, so by the time he arrived, it was midnight, so he notices the effects of the dark hour, which include the sky being green, everyone being inside coffins, and the water looking like blood. When he arrives, he is greeted by a kid who makes him sign a contract with the conditions of taking responsibility for his actions. After signing the contract, he is greeted by a girl trying to point a gun at him. However, she is stopped by another girl. Their names are Yukari Takeba, a girl whose father was involved in a study of shadows, and Mitsuru Kirijo, the daughter of the leader of the Kirijo group. After a few days of school, a shadow attacks the dorm, and our protagonist awakens to his persona and defeats the shadow. A persona is a monster that awakens from one's psyche and is summoned by using an evoker, a gun-shaped object that is pointed at the head to be used. 1 week of sleep later, and our protagonist joins Seize, a group of persona users with the purpose of defeating shadows. After a while, you discover that shadows appear on full moons, and your goal becomes to eliminate all full moon shadows. Throughout the game, you will be exploring Tartarus, a dungeon consisting of 262 randomly generated floors. Over the year, more persona users will join you, including Junpei Iwori, your best friend and bro, Akihiko Sanada, a senior who loves getting stronger, Fuka Yamagishi, your navigator and chief operator, Agis, an anti-shadow robot weapon, Koromaru, a Shiba Inu that can summon a persona, Kanamada, a kid whose mother was killed by a persona user on a rampage, and Shinjiro Aragaki, a senior whose cold exterior covers his gentle self. Another thing with the story is that playing through the game, you will feel like you are watching a slice of life anime, as all the staples are here, including the obligatory beach trip and school trip. In terms of presentation, the game looks pretty good for a PS2 RPG. Due to the game being partially a visual novel, most important characters have an anime profile picture. Most models represent their characters and their movements are pretty natural. In the portable version, there is no 3D movement in the city, but the dungeon exploration is left untouched, except for the quality of the models. The character portraits look pretty good, with the only nitpick being the necks. Overall, for the time, Persona 3 is a pretty good looking game. Persona 3 is a game with two phases. During the day, you are an ordinary high school student. You attend school, go out with friends, study for exams, and everything that a normal high schooler does. The most important part of the daytime segments are the social links, which are like bonds you build with people by spending time with them. And each social link is represented by a tarot card. Throughout their social links, you'll learn more about them, help them with their problems, and even helping them become better people. During the night, you explore Tartarus and its randomly generated glory. In terms of combat, everybody has a specific weapon that they use. In the PS2 versions, your MC can use any weapon, but in the PSP version, he is stuck to a short sword. As mentioned in the beginning, in the PS2 versions, your party members are AI controlled, and you can only give them broad commands such as assigning a target, acting freely, or conserving SP. But in the PSP versions, you can control them directly. The most important part of combat, however, are the personas. While your party members have only one persona, you can have multiple. The way you get them is through an after battle minigame called Shuffle Time, which can also grant you some other buffs like experience or money. You can also fuse these personas in a place called the Velvet Room. That's where social links come into play. When you fuse a persona of the arcana of a social link, based on the rank of that social link, the persona will get experience. The combat also features the SMT classic press turn system, which means whenever you exploit an enemy's weakness, you can attack again, and if you knock down all enemies, you can perform an all-out attack, which deals massive damage to all enemies. As mentioned earlier, Tartarus consists of 262 randomly generated floors with predetermined boss floors. It consists of 6 blocks, each unlocked as the game progresses. Personally, I really enjoyed it, although it can be monotonous at times. Overall, I really enjoyed the gameplay of Persona 3 with its two sides. Overall, I think Persona 3 is a fantastic game with great story and gameplay. While it does have some issues, none of them are game breaking. Persona 3 is a game that I hold dear and is one of my favorite games of all time. I give it a score of 9.5 out of 10. While it does have some issues, it is still a great game that you should totally play if you're a fan of RPGs.